Weather's been pretty good in Manchester recently. So I've been doing a walk through this local park near me in Salford, just outside of Manchester. Been doing it for about a week now, at least a 45 to an hour minute walk, and it's like kind of a new habit I'm trying to do, but highly recommend it for anyone who feels like they're always tired in the morning, like I sometimes can be. So yeah, definitely recommend doing it if you have the time before work or anything. Welcome back. Hope you've had a good week and welcome to the Silly Million YouTube channel. So what have I been up to the past week or so? So this week I wanted to start off the challenge by building up a bit of capital. The whole concept of this is that you got to start from zero. So I wanted to see what small ways there were online of me building up a little bit of initial money. And the aim of this is literally anyone can do this with 30 minutes to an hour of their time per day. So that's kind of the whole concept with this first video. So with the rise of sites like Fiverr and Upwork, I decided to kind of stick around this kind of niche and look at task site opportunities that may be available online. However, the caveat to sites like Fiverr and Upwork is that you tend to need some sort of specific skill. So I thought I'd see if there was a way that you could make money with effectively zero skills, so that anyone can really try and do these things that I'm attempting. And then even more importantly, just to see if there was like a fun way of doing these too. Now, despite that, the first platform I came across isn't necessarily fun. But with the amount of rogue sites out there in the specific niche that I'm talking about, this was one site that I thought I'd give it a bit of time and a bit of a go. To me, this seemed like a great find because it was owned by one of the biggest brands in the world, Amazon. So Amazon Mechanical Turk is a crowdsourcing website for businesses, otherwise known as requesters, who hire remote crowd workers, such as myself in this situation, to perform discrete, on-demand style online tasks that computers are effectively unable to do, so it requires a human interactor. In essence, you do tasks for a bunch of different reasons, varying from different things such as surveys for market research. One was to record dog barking sounds from the street outside. Another one was even record a 1-minute video of yourself for kind of future AI purposes. For each of these tasks, the actual payout varies quite significantly. Some are as low as literally 1 cent, whereas others can go up to around $3. However, because you get through them quite quickly and they're small payment tasks, you zip through quite a few without even realising it, and that amount that you earn can add up quite quickly. For this particular side hustle, I probably spent around 4 hours of my time on Amazon Mechanical Turk this week. What this consisted of for me was spending roughly 30 to 40 minutes per day, logging on, seeing what tasks were available, and then just basically tallying them up and running through as many as I could in that time period each day. And after the first 7 days or so of doing this, the first tally for this challenge, which I'll stick in the corner of the screen, I've made $27. And the great thing about this is you can just withdraw it straight to your bank account, and the payment schedule is roughly every 3 days or so. So this is all money that I can now see in my bank account as the result of the efforts that I put into this site over the past week or so. So the second one I worked on this week was usability testing. This might be something that you've heard of, might not be something you've heard of, but in the industry I'm in, I'm fairly familiar with it, and I've actually used it a couple of times in previous jobs. Usability testing refers to evaluating a product or service by testing it with representative users. Typically during a test, participants will try to complete typical tasks while observers watch, listen and take notes. Now I signed up to a bunch of these after reading a few blogs. Typically when you sign up you have to do a couple of tests which are then viewed by a moderator to check that you're capable of being able to do these tests for companies. Then once that's approved, you're just ready to test whenever the right tests come in that fit your profile. I'd say that the tests came through fairly frequently, but because you have to be the right demographic or type of person for the test, you only get accepted, I'd say, on around 5% of the tests that came through. But because I signed up to a number of different platforms, I was able to, rack up the pennies and things over time. It's sort of a strange experience for most because you're effectively staring at a screen and just talking, through those processes. But I'd say once you do a couple, you kind of get the hang of it. And actually, I'd say it can actually be kind of like a little bit fun as well. In terms of the payment for this, I'd say it varied quite wildly. Some tests were just $1, whereas others paid $10. But as you can imagine, the more profiles you sign up to on different platforms, the more tests you might get through. However, even in just 1 week of doing this, I managed to rack up $29 in payments. All of these get either paid straight to your PayPal account or occasionally get sent out as Amazon vouchers, which I'm just going to count as money because that's still money that you can use to spend on things moving forward. Again, in terms of time spent on this, I'd say I've spent around 3 to 4 hours after signing up actually doing the tests themselves. So those were the 2 activities this week that I decided to focus on that I feel like anyone can do. But there was another key strategy that I wanted to focus on this week, which was trying to create some initial passive income streams. Effectively what this means is I just wanted to get a few things set up, and then with that I have to do basically nothing else and just let it run in the background, and then money can hopefully be collected over time. For the purpose of this challenge, I'm going to call this the passive pennies experiment. There were 3 particular things that I set up this week that I'll run through now. The first one was the Brave browser. Brave is a browser just like any other, and the foundation of the Brave economy is what's called the Basic Attention Tokens, or BATs, which have a value derived from a cryptocurrency. Those tokens are then awarded based on user attention, or more plainly, time spent viewing ads and content. Brave users who agree to receive these ads are rewarded with these BATs, and the tokens can then be passed on to publishers as support for the new sites. By using this browser every day and letting the technology do its thing, I didn't make anything groundbreaking this month, but I did rack up the equivalent of 40 cents in BAT tokens. The next passive pennies income experiment is Honeygain. Honeygain is the first ever app that allows its users to make money online by sharing their internet connection. Honeygain ensures that your internet traffic is only used by trusted partners, and the app never asks for or gains access to the storage of your device. The way this works is as you share your internet connection through the Honeygain network, the business partners can access the web from your location. This way you're helping companies and organisations view the internet as it's seen by real people, without any location-based restrictions or censorship. In essence, you can start earning with Honeygain and then use that money to pay off for something each month, like say a Netflix subscription or something like that. With the introductory fee and then also using this every day, I've managed to rack up $5.70 this week in this passive income experiment. The final passive income experiment was signing up to the NIELSEN online panel. By participating in NIELSEN's research, you can improve products and services you use online today. NIELSEN Computer and Mobile Panel combines your unique internet usage with people like you to build a picture of internet behaviour. As you use the internet, NIELSEN rewards you with points for your participation in their research studies. It's really important to know that NIELSEN is safe and has actually been around for decades as a business. It's a legitimate publicly traded company that's been around for about 90 years now, and also has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau.
I haven't made any money from this yet, but I'll be sure to keep you posted.
So obviously in terms of income this week, it's not really been anything groundbreaking. However, what I kind of feel like I've shown is that there's always a way to make some extra pennies on the side. The value in doing this is you can, pay for that weekly shopping bill, you can pay for that subscription. Even with the rising energy now, that's a chunk of money towards your monthly energy costs. And there's so many other ways that you may want to spend that money. And also, this doesn't stop, you know, you can keep doing this week after week after week. Once these different things are set up, you can log on every day, do say 15-minute test on usability testing or 15 minutes or so of tasks on Mechanical Turk. There's so many options available, but it actually doesn't impact your life in any way. The other thing is that the more you use these platforms, the more you actually end up being paid down the line by these platforms. There's kind of a trust element with them, where if you hit a certain number of tests or tasks completed, then they will potentially pay you more money for more tasks down the line. There's one other really important element that I just wanted to bring up in this video. This is of course a revenue challenge. It's not about making $1 million of profit in this, it's about making $1 million. Therefore, I'm keeping a tally of any spendings that I make in this challenge. I mean, obviously I didn't have this microphone last week, so I've had to reinvest some of the money I've made into better equipment in order to make these videos a little bit better. So I'm going to put a little image at the end of current revenue and profit just to summarize everything so that there's two separate metrics. In order to make $1 million in this time period, I know I'm going to have to reinvest the money that I'm making. I'm not going to be able to keep it all in a bank account. This is something that I spoke about last week in how investing is going to be a really important part of all of this. One thing this week is shown to any budding YouTubers who want to start a video is if I can do it with a phone, a laptop, reinvest some of my earnings in a microphone, all you have to do is spend maybe an extra hour a day trying to get that little bit of extra income. And obviously you've got to have a little bit of focus and commitment, but I think what I've shown is it is possible to build up a little bit of a side pot of money. Thanks for watching this week. Feel free to like and subscribe below. And remember, it's okay sometimes to be a little bit silly.